Well, how do you do, buckaroos? This is Joe Layden of Cowboys and Indians magazine, and it is my great pleasure today to be talking with the prolific and prodigiously talented Dale Dickey. You have seen her in any number of roles in television and movies, but you've never seen her quite like she before, like she is in a beautifully acted and deeply affecting movie called Love Song. Well, I understand, Dale, that this was your first on screen kiss.
Yes, indeedy, it was. And thank you for that quite eloquent, lovely introduction. Yeah, Wes and I discussed that. I think we lived in a house together as part of this bubble. I think we got back that night and sitting watching TV, and Wes looked at me and went, "Did we just lip lock today?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm, I think we did." Uh, yeah, middle-aged romantic kiss. Who'd have thunk? So that's kind of fun.
Was he gentle?
He was very gentle with me. He was a gentleman all the way. It's a little odd being stuck inside a cramped trailer with camera people and directors in your face. But Wes and I got along really well. We were comfortable together, and it just felt easy. We understood the characters and had a great director, great crew. So yeah, but we're both happily married. So it's like, that's just not our usual bag is the screen kiss romantic thing. I've had to do kisses on stage,
Oh,
theater
yeah.
kisses
Yeah.
and stuff, but when it's right in front of the camera,
Mhm,
a little
mhm.
scary.
Well, if your first on screen kiss, you could do, a lot worse than Wes Studi. I mean,
Oh,
that's history making. That's,
yeah, one of my friends that saw the movie recently said, "Oh, I'd kiss him in a heartbeat." So no, that was not. It was not hard for me to uh, have a huge attraction for him. Plus, he's a lovely, kind, funny, smart human being. I lucked out.
well, now, as I said, this is a beautifully acted film, and some of the most eloquent scenes in it are the scenes without dialogue. I mean, I have to say, very early in the film, where you know, camera's just on you, and you slowly grace us with a smile. I said, okay, I'm down for this. This movie has me. I'm gonna go wherever it
Oh,
takes me.
cool.
You know.
Nice.
Um, but this was your writer director's first rodeo. Uh, what did he do to gain your trust? What did he do to make you think, okay, I'm gonna walk out on the tightrope here, but I know Max is gonna have the net there.
That's a great question. I love working with young directors and new writers. They're our future. And first of all, I got an absolutely lovely letter from him about why he wanted me for this role, of what he wanted to do with this film. And then I read his script. I saw two short movies, the two shorts he'd done before this, and I could see he was talented. I did a Zoom with him, and we got along great. And he just has a great spirit and a great heart. He's extremely brilliant and a beautiful vision. And I just think I could see he was talented, and getting on set and working with him as director, he's like an actor's director. I think he studied acting years ago when he was studying theater and history, and then he went to film school. So he has that language, and I was very honest with him. I said, I need a strong director, particularly in this role. I'm terrified. And I will start to do all these Deo dissipation mannerisms, and I can't. So he really, every day, would just come and whisper a few things to remind me of my physicality and the routineness of Faye. Um, and we just quietly, gently discussed things. And he was very open to any problems we had with the dialogue, even though it was written very specifically and there wasn't much to change at all. As a matter of fact, some of the dialogue scenes did get cut. They were just short little snippets, but exploring that quiet, I just knew I could trust him, and that's the most important thing. I knew he trusted me. And as long as I trusted him and the crew around me, everybody had each other's backs on this. It was a small crew, and everybody really loved what we were doing. So I was very supported, and I took the leap of faith, and I won the lotto.
Indeed, indeed. And in addition to, working with Wes, there are these little supporting turns that, these little grace notes throughout the film, uh, for recreation and romantic excursions.
Right?
Uh,
From the mouths of babes, little Marty Grace.
and the young man who comes by, not on horseback, because he's not on the back of the horse, he's just bringing the horse along,
Right, right,
with the mail, and the couple,
right.
you finally, advise them to, go ahead, take a chance on love. uh, First of all, how many of those folks were for professional actors, and how many of those were just, Max's buddies,
About half and half. Benja and Michelle, the couple, are both actresses in New York. They both live in New York City. And John Way, who played the postman, is also a big theater actor and lives in New York. Um, Little Marty Grace and the four boys are all, well, the four boys Max grew up with, and they are all in one of his other short films, as is Marty. Now, Marty's, I can't show you, Marty's like this tall in her first film, and now she's about this tall. And I just saw her at a film festival. Her family's moved to North Carolina, and now she's like this tall. She's just a great kid, and Max fell in love with her because she's just so natural and kind of spunky and fun to work with. And the four guys, two brothers, Jesse was one of our producers, Scout, Sam, Greg, and Jesse. They all grew up and they wanted to help out and be a part of it. So kind of half and half. And I love the quirky characters. That's what keeps Faye going until Leto finally arrives. So.
now, did you really have to eat that many crawdads? I mean,
Oh yeah.
Was there ever a day when you went to Max and, well, couldn't she fish or something, or
my
call
main
out for pizza? I mean, yeah.
My main question was, does Faye not know what butter and salt and pepper are? Because just a little, but the guys did great. I think it was Ramzi Bashur, who also did the beautiful guitar music, and was one of our producers. He was our jack of all trades. He and Jesse Hope, the other producer, they were always there bringing things. So they'd go out and catch the crawfish. We'd throw the traps out so we'd have them for the next day. And then they would, I couldn't bring myself to boil them. They would do the boiling, but they did use crab boil. So there was some taste. And then I had crawfish lessons with Max. They'd all grown up eating crawfish out of that reservoir. So I had crawfish eating lessons, and yeah, I kind of actually miss it a little bit. I'd like one right now. They're tasty. You got to work hard to get the little bit of meat. And I grew up in Tennessee. There was a creek in our backyard where there were crawdads, but we didn't catch them and eat them. But apparently they're good eating, and I learned that.
Well, Max spent a lot of time growing up in the mountains of Colorado, and you grew up in Tennessee. You spent a lot of times in the mountains. Did you see a great deal of similarity between the folks in Colorado, the people that your character would have been around, with the people you grew up with?
I think so. There's pockets of the same kinds of people all over the country, and just people that venture outdoors and don't mind spending time by themselves in nature. They tend to be friendly with other campers they meet. You never know who you're going to meet on a camping trip. You don't want to meet all of them, but sometimes those tiny connections, and it's community. People help each other. People they pick up on each other's energies. And yeah, and where I'm from, people are kind and trusting when you're outdoors and you see somebody needs help. I know there's some bad eggs out there, but I've pretty much witnessed mostly good people.
What was the scene that gave you the most trepidation before you shot it? What was, I ask this of actors and directors sometimes, and sometimes I get very surprising answers. It's like, oh, it was that one, not the one I might have thought of.
Well, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is the hike up the mountain, but that's not really the scene that I went into with most trepidation because I love to hike, even though it was 20, not 20, that was 12,000 feet. We all hike up there on our final night, and I'm twice as old as all those kids, but it was glorious and great. I knew I could do it, and I was thrilled. I think the scene that was the most difficult for me is after Leto leaves, and it literally says she sits in that doorway of her trailer and does not move a muscle for hours. And we filmed it at different times, and then when I go in, I finally decide to move on. I place the flowers on the father's grave, and sitting down and listening to that song was the hardest part. I needed to be in a place that I could really find that truth, and I was able to do that because of the support around me. I trusted those guys to just, they let it roll, and I just did what I hoped I needed to do. But yeah, it's a long song to just be quiet through. All you can do, music, it's just telling the truth and reacting truthfully. And how could I not react truthfully to that beautiful, beautiful song? That's the beauty of music.
Very, very touching, very moving. A really, I know it sounds like I'm stroking you, but a terrific performance that
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
and all you awards, handicappers. The movie is a love song. It's coming to theaters and drive-ins near you, and you get to see the great Dale Dickey smooching Wes
With the
Studi.
with the great Wes Studi, man.
Yes, yes, yes. What more? What more could a moviegoer ask for? Seriously,
People should come out. It's only 80 minutes, 82 minutes long, and it really is a gorgeous, simple film, I think. I'm very proud of it. Very proud to tell this story.
Well, thank you very much, and good luck with the film.
Thank you, Joe. Really appreciate your time, and I look forward to reading your magazine sometime.